kind of like a modern mullet with a taper on the sides. So you're gonna keep letting the back grow.
Yep.
And do you want any length off the top? Not really, right?
I don't really know. What do you think?
Let's make sure it's even. Let's just check if it's even. Okay. So like a slight little trim, and then we'll do the taper and stuff. Yo. Cool. Let's do it. Hey. YouTube, what's going on, guys? I hope everybody's doing all right, man, during these tough times. Let's go ahead and work with this shear work, and what I'm working with now mostly is the perimeter. And I know that the back is gonna have length, I know the top is gonna have length, and I know I want it to look squared to give that mullet look. And so we are just creating our perimeter all the way through, which is the longest length we're going to have on the sides. Okay, and so I'm over directing hair that doesn't belong on that is on the top, that may because of gravity reach over to the sides, and I'm just making sure that I cut anything that would overlap the perimeter that I want, as you can see. And once I've done this on both sides, we will begin either the top. It depends on you. You can begin cutting the length on the top, or you can start cutting the sides and do your clipper work on the sides. And you guys saw the example, the picture that he showed me. So we're gonna do our best to kind of to emulate that. Obviously, his hair texture is different, and so everybody's hair texture is different. Everybody's hair growth patterns are different, and the hair density is different. If you don't know what hair density is, it's exactly that. It's how many hair strands in that specific area, right? The more hair strands, or the more hair in that area, the higher the density is, okay? And so his haircut obviously isn't gonna look the same as that picture, but we're gonna do our best to emulate it. And that's all we can do. We can do the best haircut we can do for that individual. And you can already see the haircut's kind of coming together. Honestly, I could just lower the sides down with shear work or with a number 4 or number 5, and if he wanted length on the sides, this haircut would be done. You know what I mean? We would lower the length on the top, if need be, if he wanted to, and that haircut would be done. But he wants a taper into the mullet just to make it look a little bit more modern, right? All right, so now we are using our number 3 guard to go ahead and clear that bulk and pretty much just kind of blend right into the work we did, because it's almost finger length when we created our perimeter. And so a number 3, if you notice, is kind of just blending in. And the clipper I'm using is the Cordless Seniors, the 100th anniversary, and I don't have a clear case on there, but believe me, the new 245 Eco battery is in that thing. Okay, and here I'm just kind of refining, kind of making that connection from the length to that number 3. But once it's done, it's done. Like after this right here, we'll start to do our taper into a number 3. So we know we're going from bald to a number 3, and then we line it up. Because remember, he's growing the back out. Scissor over comb now, and this is just refining. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm not cutting the length on the back, but I am making sure that the back is connecting to the top. And so at this point, we're just making sure that the length that we want on top is the length. And so for me, I'm not cutting too much, because if you listen to the consultation, we're just making sure everything is even. So I'm cutting probably 1/4 of an inch, you know what I mean? Something that's not even gonna be noticeable that much to him. I'm just making sure it's even so it grows back nicely. And we're taking vertical sections little by little. another vertical section. All right, so we did the right side, now we're doing the left side. And so we're doing another vertical section, and we're using our previous cut as our guideline. I think it's looking pretty good. So what I'm putting here is a product that salon guy gave me a while back. And I think it's just a neat styling product for longer hair, or for hair that we just kind of let, you know, get its natural texture. Okay, so here I'm shaving underneath the hair, because that hair that's underneath, especially in those calicky areas and those crazy hair growth areas, it makes the hair above it kind of puff out more. It's harder to control. If we want to lay a little bit more freely, a little bit more of a feathered look, then we want to shave that hair that's underneath it, that's creating a little bit of a puffiness and volume. Okay, and at this point we're just kind of giving it some texture, right? We want to leave it, we want it to look clean, like he got a cut, but it needs to look natural. We're not going to put a hard line here and round it off or square it off or anything like that. We want to kind of break up the hair so no one area looks a little too bulky. And I feel like a lot of people who don't like this type of haircut, you know, it's just because it's just opinion. It's just what people are used to. Where, you know, I grew up in predominantly, you know, black and Latino barbershops where these type of haircuts right here are never seen in those type of shops, right? Like especially this finishing work, you know what I'm saying? Like right away you would immediately go to lining this thing up crispy. And so, you know, if that's the world you come from, you may not appreciate this haircut as much. But, you know, as a barber and somebody who's an avid learner, I want to be able to do it all. I want to be able to create, you know, the best haircut for that individual. I don't want to be cookie cutter, right? And so, you know, hopefully if you came into this video thinking that, and you're looking at what I'm doing and you're thinking that, hopefully you know, you open your mind up to these type of haircuts, because this is what makes you valuable. This is what makes you more than just a commodity barber, hair cutter, right? Like this is what makes you able to charge more, because it sets you apart from the crowd. All right, so at this point we're gonna start the taper. Now this is something anybody that comes from an urban barbershop you could relate to. So let's get it. So we did the blade open. Now we're doing our number one guard open. And for me, and now it's closed. For me, what I'm doing is I'm gauging his hair. Okay, so this is the 1.5 guard. And the reason why I'm gauging his hair, I'm looking at how the hair reacts, is because I can tell that the density of his hair in this area is much lower than the rest of his head, of his hair, right? You can see it looks light especially around the hairline area. And the reason why I'm kind of being careful, and I started out with the blade open and then the number one guard, is because a number one on somebody with lower density, or an area that's lower density, might look like a blade open, like no guard open, right? And so I needed to make sure I tested the waters, but it's looking pretty good to me. We're gonna line it up and we're gonna detail it afterwards. All right, so you can see now I'm going in with the trimmer and I'm going bald now, because I see how the hair reacts. I've learned, and so now I know I can attack this haircut a specific way. But I'm staying away from the peak of his C cup, because I know that area, if you look to the right of where I'm working, just on the right side of where I'm working right now, that already looks like a half guard. So I'm not even gonna touch that area. But by going a little bit tighter, you're gonna see some more gradients, and it's just gonna make the haircut pop a little bit better, I think. And this is where the modernizing the mullet comes into effect, in my opinion. And again, this is just, we're just doing detailing at this point. It's lined up. So I brought out my blending shears. I'm just cleaning up little areas that look like they need a little bit of a lighter look. Okay, we did the same thing on this side, and we're cleaning up the lineup. He wanted to keep, he wanted his taper to blend in to his sideburns. So, and just leave the sideburns alone. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to rock the struggle beard. He's trying to be like me. And little by little, we will get a beard, okay? We don't even get the option of jumping straight into the water. We have to dip our feet and little by little get into the water. That's the only option that's available to guys like him and I. And that's okay. I'm rooting for you, bro. That beard is gonna come in, I'm telling you. But I think it's coming together, man. The shape is there, the mullet is there. I love the way it's flowing. The taper is looking good into the cut. All right, so I'm cleaning this area up now. I'm just kind of balding it out because that's hair that's growing on his neck. But the hair above that hairline will grow over it. It's kind of like the same effect that we did on his neckline, right? Or on the bottom of his neckline. But see how I went ahead and just started combing this in, and now it looks natural. I'm okay with that. It's gonna let the hair move a little bit more too back there and look even more natural, in my opinion. It's just gonna look like he got a haircut without looking like he got a haircut, if that makes sense. Okay, and so at this point, we're gonna go ahead and point cut into the hair. And we're just gonna kind of thin out all that bulk. So again, it has more movement. I really like the way it's looking from this angle. Got my little man in the background. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some product in there. And I just kind of base product depending on what a client's preference is. Do you like shine? Do you like more of a natural look? Do you like volume? Do you like a little bit more of a slick look? You know, that kind of all plays into what I decide to put on my client's hair. And I can't find my Dyson, yo. I cannot find my Dyson. If you know where my Dyson is, please let me know. Yeah, look at it from this angle. That's looking clean. I feel like that looks dope, man. Daughter back there. All right, and of course we're gonna go ahead and put the razor on there. So you got a nice, what I feel like you have a nice combination of hard, sharp lines with a natural feathered look in the back. I understand some people won't like this look, but if you're a barber, you shouldn't be knocking it. You should just be appreciating the steps to do it, and the fact that you can do it for your clients, that you can give clients what they want. Like you could definitely see here on this side, he definitely has like lower density spots in certain areas, especially in the taper area. This is where a high taper would really work out well, but I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to go too crazy with the taper. But I think a high taper would definitely make the haircut look like he has no density issues whatsoever around the temple. All right, guys, so this is the before. Man, now let's check out the after. Woo! Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into the channel again. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're constantly trying to drop content. And if you like the cut, definitely smash the like button and let me know what you thought, man, in the comment section. I'll be tuning in for at least the first hour that I drop this video. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See you on the next video.